Bitcoin is trading right now at a critical level after we saw finally a move back above the $92,000 level. I will show you what's going to happen next and what next steps I'm taking right now to prepare for the next move that's just about to happen. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Why is my camera not showing? Okay, I know why. 1 second. This is strange, but I'm gonna fix this quick here. There we go. There we go. Don't know where my camera went. So we jump directly into the DXY chart. So here on the DXY chart, you see that we are currently trading under the 99 points mark. This is exactly what we want to see here going into FOMC, that we are not breaking above this here over the next 48 hours. This looks or starts to look like a bearish order block that will lead to continuation as long as we are closing below 99 points here today. The US market is about to open in around 30 minutes, and then we're going to get a better understanding if we can suppress the current movement here, or if we punch through that and then tomorrow continue to go to the downside. On the weekly chart for Bitcoin, so we got luckily a bullish close here with continuation to the upside. Here on this weekly chart, the most important thing that I'm looking at right now is the more or less the $99,000 level. That's what I'm focusing right now at. Because that is the lower end of the EMA ribbon here on the weekly chart, and we need to maintain this upwards trend on the EMA ribbon. We need a move in $103,000 in the next 2 weeks. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we need to see a move like that, and I believe this move will actually be coming faster than anyone is expecting, and I'm gonna explain that in a moment. So, but for now, we are sitting above the golden ratio here on the weekly chart. This is a really bullish sign for continuation here, at least into $98,200 to $99,400 approximately. On the daily chart, we are getting closer and closer to break this downward sloping trend line of the overall bump and run pattern. So today, we are definitely going to see a retest of this trend line. We got close earlier, like 1 or 2 hours ago, pretty close to it, but did not break above or just touch it just yet. But I think that this is still gonna happen today at some point. A rejection level could be $93,088 roughly. So and I will show you why, because here there we touched that level, here we touched that level, and also prior there in this candle here we bounced off that level. So this will be the next major resistance on the shorter time frames for Bitcoin, converging with the downward sloping trend line, where we're gonna see that Bitcoin gonna pause there for a little bit before we get a decisive move above this line. So here, that is also your next entry for a trade position. If you're not in a trade just yet, this is where you want to enter, guys. $93,088. If we are not getting here any sign of another smaller pullback below $91,400. So if we are not getting that, then this is the safest entry that you can get for continuation to $104,000, $105,000, and all the way up here to potentially even $109,000 in the coming weeks. Here on this daily chart, this pennant is about to break out here to the upside. I had warned about this now for roughly a week, where I said, hey, as long as we are staying within that pennant here, we are going to get that breakout. The breakout is basically here. So also here, the same thing what I just said applies. $93,000, $93,100 is the level from where you want to enter into this trade, because you have then a cleaner breakout and a more distinct breakout above that downward sloping trend line, and from there you can enter this. So the stochastic is going to the upside, the RSI is going to the upside, not the stochastic, and we're just about to enter bullish territory, while the MACD has now found back bullish momentum to give us here darker green candles, while the trend lines on the MACD are also pointing back to the upside. Then on this chart, on the VPVR, also here we are breaking above the longest volume traded area closest to the price, which is a good sign. So it is enough just to close the current daily candle at current levels. If we do that, that is just another confirmation signal for continuation into now the former support level, most likely acting as resistance, starting here at $94,500 to $97,000 approximately, into the 50 moving average here. And remember what I said the other day, I said this will start to turn around, and then by end December, early January, 1st January week, we're gonna get another golden cross. So here you see that could be around Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year, we should get a golden cross, but price will be already way above the 200 moving average at the time, somewhere between $108,000 and $112,000, maybe even $113,000 if we are putting in that golden cross. So also here you have basically now a triple confirmation, a triple bottom, low, lower low, higher low, higher low. And now what we need is on that macro structure to take out this high here. So once we're taking that out, the whole structure is shifting and we are going back into way higher prices for Bitcoin. So also my trade is finally printing on WEEX. I mentioned it so many times, guys, that you need to have confidence in your setup. And here you see I'm up now $1,000. This was like 2 days ago minus $25,000. Now I'm up $1,000. This was on the high earlier, up like $5,000-6,000 already. I just let this run because I know where this is going, and I have actually now more money that I can add back into the trade if I want to even scale this further. So, but for that I wait for another correction to actually do that. If you want to trade with me together, guys, on WEEX, there is a link in the description below. You get $400 for free just for binding your phone, email address, and downloading the app. And if you deposit $500, you get another $400. So in total, $800 for free just for signing up. Doing some simple steps, you know, you don't even need to trade with the $500 that you deposit. You can withdraw them after 3 days. You know, after 3 days, you withdraw them when you get the bonus, the $400. Then you trade with $800 absolutely for free and get access to my free Telegram group. Also, all the steps are described in the description below. If you cannot use WEEX, guys, go to Tapit, 20% cash back on Tapit, and there's a new campaign coming up tomorrow with Tapit. I'm gonna then talk about this with you tomorrow. On the 4-hourly chart here, we have reclaimed the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly chart. Also really important to see this. Currently facing a small rejection from the resistance area that's just stacked above us. So now I'm getting this. Coming in here at $92,400 to $93,500 respectively. But here, this is absolutely fine as long as we are not seeing a steeper pullback below $91,000. So as long as we are staying above that level, you see at some point that break happening here in direction of $94,000. You see this also on the MDX Algo Scalp Gradients. We have put in here a bullish divergence, and that led to this pump yesterday and also today into the continuation. And as you can see here, the gradients are heating up now for continuation, for a move to $93,800 and then even higher than that. I'm gonna show you here in a second why I believe that we will definitely not stop here in the short term. And also, guys, smash up the like button. That more people getting in here. We are stuck around 60 people right now, so let's get some more people in here. And we are getting fast through everything today, which is also amazing. So 10 minutes and I'm almost done with Bitcoin is great. Gives us more time to talk about altcoins. So now, on the 15-minute time frame, I had given you yesterday here such an amazing trade. Where I said here, sorry, here's the trading setup. So enter from here and then trade it to the upside. So we are so close to the take profit. Let me know in the chat, guys, if some of you were able to catch that trade when I gave you that yesterday, because it happened like shortly after the stream yesterday, I think, when we started to break out here. So let me know in the chat if some of you guys were able to catch this. And then if you actually did, Your stop loss should be now, so I just want to make sure from here that this is not, so this is like 3.4. Yeah, your stop loss should be around like $91,170. That is where I would trade my stop loss to. Massively in profit. So you're then 2% in profit if you trade it here with like 25x, 50% profit that you walk away with, even if we come back down and test the 50 moving average on the 50 minutes chart before we continue to go higher. So, but yeah, there is a small, so here there's the current support level, $91,500, from where we should bounce off if price pulls a little bit further back. So, and that's yeah, what I see where we're gonna get a continuation from into the take profit target here of $92,425. The liquidation levels painting also right now a clear picture for us. I definitely don't see us coming down here to take out the liquidity that built up here, these long positions that fueled now all this move here to the upside. Definitely not seeing this being taken out here at $89,200 all the way down to like $88,500 unless some crazy news happen again. But like from a technical perspective, there's no reason why we should roll over and take this out, and rather go up to the 200 moving average to $93,700. Here comes that level up again that I just mentioned, and once we are touching this, we go higher than that for sure, to around $94,700. I cannot guarantee that we're gonna hold this level and just potentially just wick above that and then come back to the 200 and then go sideways along the 200 a little bit before we then find the momentum to stay above the 200 and get a proper continuation pump into higher levels. But I think that initial move here to the 200 moving average will be just a wick to take the liquidity, grab liquidity, then come back down a little bit, go sideways, maybe sideways down even to current prices, and then you get the continuation pump afterwards. Something else that I want to mention here, up here, remember, here was a lot of liquidity stacked, all gone. All these shorts understood they should close their positions, so that was definitely smart money sitting there, and not some degenerate gamblers that closed their positions. They are all gone, so they have all closed their positions, or got stopped out on the trailing stop, which was definitely a smart move from them. But we have still here these shorts at around $94,000, and they will definitely get punished once we are reaching these levels. And you see this also on the liquidation heat map here around $94,400. There is the majority of the liquidity stack that has built up over the last 2 weeks, and below us is basically nothing. So here in the absolute worst case, we are talking about $90,400, but I don't even think that we are reaching that level. So we are only scratching here at like $91,300 in the worst case possible, in my opinion, and then it's all the way back in continuation into higher levels. The dominance is still ranging here. Nothing has really changed, but we are pulling back to the downside, which is a good sign. But we need here a little bit more follow through. It looks like, in my opinion, that we are seeing this most likely happening with the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, that we're getting here a proper move to the downside and leaving the 59% range. The total free market cap is seeing here finally a bounce to the upside with a reversal candlestick pattern. So here we have a tweezer bottom, the previous two candles, so that it's not a surprise that we then today see here move to the upside. Here we need to break above $900 billion to get a proper continuation, yeah, and follow through. This looks pretty similar to Bitcoin on the daily chart, to be honest. So when you look here at this formation, lower low, higher low, higher low, that looks pretty much the same. So, and you could argue here is like an ascending triangle shaping up. So, and that puts us also here like, yeah, by next week, we should see a breakout out of that pennant to the upside. The technical target of that pennant, just from eye measuring, should be around, yeah, close to $1 trillion. Yeah, that's where we're heading to. Then Ethereum, also here, I hope a lot of you guys were able to catch that trade, the Ethereum trade that we had here. It's technically not too late to get into this if you missed this, because I said yesterday, wait for this break of this downward sloping trend line. That would be like the first area where I would enter. So, and if you missed that, how much are we away from that? 2% roughly. 2% of an overall like 13% move. So you're technically not too late. You have only, so either there's two ways how you can do this. Either you enter with the trickle down pyramid, where you ladder in from current levels and then you just stack orders lower all the way down to the original entry, or you wait for a break of $3,155 on the with like a 30-minute candle close. That's what you want to see above that, and then trade the continuation. And your stop loss of course needs to be then higher than the stop loss down here. I would set this like at $3,090 approximately. So, and let me actually make this like a proper setup that you can see that. So here 7.85% to the upside. So that is what you're looking at with a 2.49% stop loss. Then Solana also broke out of that pennant, which was actually a bear pennant. We broke out here to the upside. Also here, I hope a lot of you guys were able to catch that. We ran into that resistance of $140 roughly. Turning around here a little bit, it's not a huge surprise to me to see something like this, but here comes the next opportunity to either add to your position or to open a position. If Solana manages to come down here in the next 3.5 hours to touch this dashed upward sloping trend line. So that is where I would enter and then trade the continuation. On the daily chart, I think we are still fine. Yeah, so here we are putting in a buy signal, stochastic RSI going to the upside. MACD also finding here more momentum, more bullish momentum to continue while we are printing a crazy Morningstar pattern here in the candlestick formation. So also here by tomorrow we should be breaking above $140. That's at least what it looks like right now to me. Let me see here, 70 minutes. Wow, we are really good on time here. So then Link is trying to break here above $14. Got now multiple times rejected today already. I saw this happening. And so here you had an opportunity yesterday to get in at $13. What is this? 41. If you missed that, just wait now for a reclaim of like $14. You know, you want to see that we are getting a close, at least a 4-hourly close, above $14 before you enter this, and then you trade the continuation here into $16.28. Everything starts to look now tremendously bullish. I just want to say it. Really, a lot of things, and also here, what I just see here. Oh wait, is this? Oh, this is not a mosquito. This sideways consolidation here will lead to a continuation pump. So I see this across many altcoins right now happening. Whoa, that was on the 4-hourly chart now, or no? What happened? Just pressed something. Huh. Ah, okay, different coin. I was like, something changed here. So here. And you can even go and say like there's like a falling wedge pattern forming. So that should break out by like Thursday. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you want me to go through like a coin or two and I'm running again. Remember, we want to try to keep these streams a little bit shorter. And again, smash up the like button, guys. Smash up the like button. 85 people, 31 likes. We can do better. Can definitely do better. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna stream in like only full HD, because then there's not such a huge delay between me speaking and you able to react. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is actually good. I had a look earlier at this. I think that is a slow mover and a sneaky one that nobody is paying attention to. And I think we need to start paying attention to Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash here, since 3 weeks ago, moved like 30% or something, or even 40% on the high side, 36% in like 3 weeks. So now we just broke here above $567, which was a resistance level. Now I just want to see, and there is not much in resistance left. So see here, this this was, let's see here, there, this downward sloping trend line. So if it breaks above that, where are we heading? Let's see. Ah, here we have some horizontal levels. Let's see. Yeah, there. Yeah, $696 is the next technical target when we are moving it to the upside. And after that, it's basically almost $800. So honestly, I think Bitcoin Cash will go to these levels. Most likely before the end of the year. So, but what you want to look out for right now is that we are breaking above this downward sloping trend line. Because this is a multi-month trend line, multi-year trend line actually, already. Yeah, and we need to break this to get your continuation. So here, if you want to enter this, you need to wait for a break above $612, roughly. That would be like the safe way to do that, $612. With a 4-hourly candle close, and then you trade the continuation. So if you just look here, first target, it's not crazy, it's like 14%, but then here there's like 29%. Yeah, so that would be the setup for Bitcoin Cash. Honestly, I'm thinking about to get some Bitcoin Cash, or at least building a Bitcoin Cash position, because it's steadily, slowly grinding to the upside. And also in the weekly chart, it's not looking terrible, you know. So here the MACD is about to print a buy signal. Stochastic is going up. The RSI is not looking all too shabby, going sideways because we're under resistance, but not that bad, not that bad. And that's basically already it for today's stream here, guys. I'm gonna release here in like an hour another video on the channel. Just look out for that if you want to see a strategy where I made $500,000 with. So look out for that. And otherwise, guys, you know the drill already. Smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you then with more money in your portfolios tomorrow.